Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to my channel. Today we are furnishing a 60s themed British house. So if you haven't seen, I have a whole video where I built this street of British houses, a British street of 7 different houses, and I'm furnishing each of them in 7 different decade styles. So I've already done a video all about just the entire street build, so if you want to see that, I will link it in the description and I'll try and link it up here. I'll try. And I've already done a 50s themed house that was more of a lower class, like poorer sort of house, whereas this one is going to be people with a little bit of money. They have the money to get real trendy furniture, really up with the styles, a lot more from their time, modern furnishings and things. And so this one was a lot of fun to do with a very stylized 60s look. So this house was built on a diagonal because these houses are all kind of around like a curvy street. If you want to see again how I did this curved street outside of the house, the video will be linked. So that kind of messes things up with the general placement of the walls, especially the stairs, because stairs can't be placed diagonally. That's always going to frustrate me and they're never going to fix it. Or not fix it. It's not a, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. But anyway, so here is the living room. So you come straight into the living room of this house. As I explained in my 50s build, because the diagonal rooms are so much bigger, you don't have space to put a like entry hall, because it would take up half the house. So I just had the front door come straight into the living room, which isn't unusual for British houses, but I feel like more typically they have a little front hallway. So this was going to be just a mixture of so many trendy 60s and general mid-century style interior design. I really love how this turned out. I really love how it turned out. It's so funky and fun and colourful, but at the same time it does kind of have that realism of these people who have all the money to just decorate a house however they want. I sized down this fireplace, so placing things on it was a little bit, not annoying, just, you know, you had to kind of faff about with that. So yeah, because I'd sized it down, I was having to just use the 9 key, move objects on and press the 9 key and 0 key to raise and lower items, and then Alt place them, so pressing down the Alt key and moving them onto the shelves. It turned out fine in the end. It was just a little bit more tricky than directly placing onto a surface. And so I used a lot, and I mean a lot, of the furniture in this room was from Get Famous, which is one of the first expansion packs, because it has this gorgeous 60s mid-century vibe furniture. It's very, you know, like, I don't know, it's very like what I would imagine a luxury Hollywood home would have this furniture, but at the same time I'm decorating it like a British house. But I guess, you know, that's why it's included in that pack. I was placing a lot of stuff onto this shelf, so when I decided to move it, you saw there I had to kind of shift every single item along, because like I said earlier, it's not actually placed onto the shelf, so it doesn't move with it. But this room just turned out so perfect, and I'm just in love with it. And so we're onto the kitchen. I put that random chair there just because I found it when I was looking for stuff for the living room. It didn't quite go, but I wanted to try and use it somewhere, so I stuck it in the kitchen just to try and remember to put it somewhere in this build. I honestly can't even remember if I did. Also, the way the sunlight is streaming in right now is beautiful. Oh, yeah, I hated that too. That was, why did I say it like that? Anyway, we've gone for a fun, funky pink kitchen, which I think is just so much fun. And when I was researching 60s British interior design and general 60s interior design in general, quite a few pink kitchens came up, which I hadn't really thought of or heard of as being like a stereotype of 60s interiors, but I really wanted to try that out, and so I put like pink accent colour and pink elements into this kitchen. I think it turned out so cute, and ow, I've just punched my desk, so that was ow. But I just think it turned out so cute. So we've got the pink oven and the pink fridge, and I think it's adorable. And then we've got all these orange walls, and the stone on one of the walls is like a little accent wall. This is just beautiful to me. I want this kitchen, I want this house. It's gorgeous. I put a nice big round table in the kitchen. The 50s house had a dining room separate, but this one, it just didn't work out with the floor plan. So they've got the dining table in the kitchen. I put that like navy blue, not navy, but like darker blue swatch of seats. I don't know, I think really all the colours kind of tie in together, and I think it goes really nicely, and I'm really happy with this build. If you couldn't tell already. I think 60s interior design and architecture in general is, I mean, like when it's done well, is gorgeous. But there's also a lot of horrible 60s architecture in the UK, having said that. So I obviously don't mean like dull blocks of flats that are just repetitive Minecraft looking block shaped buildings. Obviously that's not what I'm saying. I just mean the very intentional stylized 60s architecture with like often these kind of like intersecting slanted roofs and things. I just love that. I want to do it now. I've already just inspired myself to do an entire 60s themed house, because this is furnished 60s themed, but the exterior is just kind of generic British house. Whereas I want to now try and do like an apex roof 60s house. That would be funky and fun. So here you can see just filling out some clutter items in the kitchen. I'm always using that dandelion painting or photo on the walls of my houses because I think it's very, very generic and that makes it very useful. And so I also put in a teeny tiny downstairs bathroom. Absolutely dinny, but it's adorable, and I put carpet in there. 60s and 70s British houses, they just love to put carpet in bathrooms. So I put this green carpet, made it very, you know, dark and green. It's dark green. I just think that's kind of very 60s looking. This shape of bathroom was really hard to fit anything into, and I haven't tested the functionality of it, so don't quote me on saying it's functional. I think I heard a cat walking by my bedroom door, but that freaked me out because I'm home alone, and if someone's walking by the door, something is wrong. But yeah, so I haven't tested out the functionality of this, but hopefully it should work. But basically, yeah, it's quite a squeeze. And then I had to size down the toilet mat as well, just because it didn't even fit within that diagonal wall. That room is tight. So onto the upstairs, it's just, basically it's a 2 up, 2 down, which just means 2 reception rooms and downstairs, or 2 general rooms downstairs, your kitchen and your living room, and 2 bedrooms upstairs. They're generally just referred to as a 2 up, 2 down. And then obviously you've got your toilets as well. This room, I'm not sure this is functional. The room itself, I'm pretty sure is, but I mean this shower, the way I've placed it over the bathtub, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. But I wanted to do that anyway, because that's very, very typical of British houses, not just from the 60s, but in general, to have a bathtub and then just have a shower, you know, in the bath. And I mean, we have a couple of items in the game. I think we have like 3 where it's a bathtub shower combo, but I don't mean like that where it's a whole built-in thing with a big glass panel and that slides open. I mean literally got a bath and then someone probably retrofitted a shower onto the wall, whereas we don't really have that in The Sims, so I just kind of built that. I put that curtain as well just to kind of act as a shower curtain. I really like how that bathroom turned out. I love the realism of the way I've done that with the shower. I think that looks really good. And then on to one of the 2 bedrooms. So this is a shared children's bedroom. By the way, I'm going to go off on an entire tangent, but if you share a bedroom with a sibling, I would assume it's a sibling, otherwise who are you sharing a bedroom with? Strangers? But if you share, oh, this is the wardrobe I was on about in my last build. Anyway, I got rid of it, so it does not matter. If you share a bedroom with a sibling, respect to you. Like, it's one of the things I think about very often that I'm so grateful for, is having my own space, especially for just everything, but recording videos, I couldn't even imagine having to share a space and trying to find the time to like kick out my sibling and record a video. It would feel like really embarrassing and frustrating, and having my own space is something I'm so grateful for, especially because I'm 22 and I still live with my parents, which I think is very, very typical at the moment. and me and my partner don't want to move out and rent, we want to move out and buy. So we're just waiting. It's going to be a while, you know, because renting just feels like a waste of money, and if we don't need to, we don't need to. So being especially at this age and having a very decent sized bedroom is something I think about often as being just one of the things I'm so grateful for. So yeah, basically these Sims are sharing a bedroom and I don't want to. Is the general gist of that. But I hope that doesn't come off as like me being like showing off, because I'm just saying like how, like, if you have to share a room, not like, oh, I feel your pain, but because I literally don't, but like that must be difficult in like a way that people don't really talk about. I don't know, I just think people kind of don't really talk about how that lack of privacy would be so difficult. Anyway, that's the kids' bedroom done. I went off on such a tangent there. But yeah, maybe the kids' bedroom isn't as super up in the 60s style, because I don't know, maybe it's a bit more early 60s, late 50s, which could be that they've got a lot of hand-me-downs. They haven't had their bedroom redone. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my feet. And they haven't had their bedroom redone for a while, or they moved in and they haven't refurbished that room yet. You know, there's so many reasons why that room wouldn't necessarily go with the rest of the house in its, at the time, modern style. And so I think it's kind of a fun element of storytelling to have not the entire house perfectly matching. And now we are on to the parents' room, and so that wardrobe that you can see in the middle of the room right now. I was on about it in my last build, in the 50s build, as being one of the best like wardrobe items we have in the game, and how we don't have enough freestanding wardrobes, because I think in America, which is obviously it's an American game, typically they have built-in closets. So we need more freestanding wardrobes in the game. It's basically the kind of gist of that rant. And furnishing this room, I kind of at first didn't really know where to go with it. It's quite long and skinny, and the entry is all the way down at one end, so it was kind of hard to figure out what I was doing with it. Also, these wardrobes, which are from the high school pack, they don't slot next to each other like that. You have to alt place them, which I find kind of strange. I feel like they look like they should slot perfectly next to each other. But anyway, we've got the matching bedside tables. We've got a nice kind of planty theme. Their room is a lot more on the trend and theme than the kids' room. But I don't know, maybe the kids would be allowed to decorate their own room, and that's why it was like that. There's so many reasons, like, of storytelling why it would be like that, and I think that's really fun. And then at the end of the room, something I don't ever really do is I put like a wall of dresses of, you know, units. And these curved dresses I never use, and they turned out so perfect for this build and so cute, and they really match the wood tones of the high school pack furniture I used in the rest of the room. Also, the clutter kit kind of came in, and I've used a bunch of stuff from that. And I wanted to fill out the rest of the space, so I've put a little chair. I don't know why, but I feel like kind of like wicker is kind of giving 60s. So I put this chair. Anyway, it's frozen on the chair. There we go. And so a little table. Something I'd like to be able to do, even if it's just decorative, is place like a little rotary phone, or just a phone in general. So like older houses would sometimes have like a chair with a phone table next to it. I think that would be kind of fun. Not necessarily in the bedroom of this build, but in general. And then onto the garden. They have a fireplace, so I put a little wood stash. I think that's kind of just based on like my granddad on my dad's side had a thing full of wood, and so I was like, yeah, we'll put one of those in. I don't even know if his house is from the 60s. Honestly, it's definitely not. It's definitely older, I think Victorian. But I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this house is right in front of the zebra crossings. They've got lovely access to the other side of the road. And here we go onto the tour. I'm sorry I haven't cut down the footage, so you may see me go in and out of tab mode like that. Or I clearly was meant to edit that first bit out. I haven't, so sorry to my past self. But here you can see the living room. It's just gorgeous. They've got like the gramophone in one corner, the record player in one corner, and it's so pretty. And they've got like a few like drinks and things. Maybe they're kind of like the hosts. They like to host parties, and like of course they do in this gorgeous house. I've just realized I used the city living door, which is like all dinged up and stuff. But I don't know, that's realism, they've got kids, so. And then the kitchen, so pretty, so cute. And I put the countertop little oven thing. Around the 60s is kind of when microwaves were becoming a thing. But I didn't want to put one in this house because they're not like super up with like being super rich and everything. And I thought maybe if this is meant to be earlier 60s, which is why the other room is more late 50s looking, they wouldn't have one yet. So I still put kind of like an ode to that with the countertop stove. I keep seeing a reflection of a car outside that looks like it's rolling down the hill, but it's actually just when I move. Oh no, that car is moving. That's throwing me off. Anyway, there's like a reflective thing over there and there's a window there and it's throwing me off. Anyway, back to the tour. So there, you got the bedrooms. I put that ottoman and that rug at the end of the bed, which I think really stops it from looking so randomly placed in the room. I think it centers it, not centers it, but you know, there is a word that I'm looking for. There's a specific word. Grounds it. There we go. It grounds it in the room better. And then this bathroom is giving realism. It looks so realistically like a British bathroom. So that's the end of the tour, and that's the end of the whole build. So I really hope you enjoyed. Please, if you've got any video suggestions you want me to do, let me know in the comments, and if you have any compliments about the build, let me know, because I always like to hear those. And if you've been angry that my eyeliner is wonky throughout this whole video, yeah, me too. This one wouldn't go right, and so I kept making it bigger and bigger, and then I could have evened it out, but I wanted at least one eye to look good, so I just, yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, I need to wash my hair. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Bye.